Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. In this episode we will be looking at the Agile Sith Lord himself, that's right, Darth Maul in Zeta, or not to Zeta. Let's jump in and have a look at Darth Maul's Zeta leader ability. So all Sith allies gain 20% evasion, gain 20% turn meter and stealth for 1 turn at the start of each encounter, and whenever they evade or are critically hit. Can't be critically hit while stealthed and gain advantage for 2 turns whenever stealth expires. So the big question on everybody's mind, is it worth it? Is it worth those Zetas to put on Maul? Will it make Maul viable again? The way we've got to look at this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's have a look at the good. So all Sith allies are going to gain that 20% evasion. They're also going to gain 20% turn meter whenever they evade. So that's going to be very similar to the old Ben meta. So whenever they do evade or are critically hit, they're going to gain that 20% turn meter and they're going to gain stealth mode, which then is going to then allow them to have crit immunity while they're in stealth, and then up and coming out of stealth, they're going to get advantage for 2 turns. On top of that, at the start of each battle, they're going to enter in stealth mode, and they're also going to have that crit immunity straight away because they are in stealth, which is great for galactic war for each round that you're going into, and it can be viable for the arena on the offense. Darth Sidious is extremely well under this Zeta. He's going to get 55% evasion versus Jedi, and that is if you're running against a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta lead, but you may not be because at the moment they are quite rare. Not everybody has them, so it can cause you some issues going against current meta, like Empire for example. So we've gone over the good, now let's go over the bad points to this Zeta leader ability. Sith do not have a cleanser, and that is very important in this day and age in this game, is to be able to have that ability to cleanse those negative effects. For example, with this squad, if you are facing a B2 battle droid, he has the ability to not only cleanse the entire team of stealth, but also put that buff immunity on them. Bear in mind, Darth Maul also has an ability himself where he can apply daze to B2 that will stop him gaining that turn meter, and there is also Emperor Palpatine that can put shock on him, but all it takes is another cleanser to be in that team that is able then to cleanse that effect, and you are back to square one. With this squad in the arena, it is impossible to run 5 Sith, so already we are watering down the effect on the defense that you're going to have to run as your 5th character, a character like Sun Fac. Sith, on top of that, have no dispellers, so there is no dispeller in that team that's going to be able to dispel a taunt on the opposite team that is really lackluster, that's going to leave you with attacking the same opponent. Of course, there's going to be that argument up in the air that Ventress should be a Sith, but as from Star Wars lore, she is not considered a Sith, so we will probably never see that tag for Ventress in this game. You could also then water your squad down even more and put B2 in, for example, but then you're losing another ability from the Sith, and that's going to leave you with them with 3. As Sun Fac or 5s do not open with an auto taunter, if B2 was in the squad, he's going to be a target straight away and he's going to be exposed. You are still able to put other great characters in there, but without running an auto taunter, it's then going to leave them exposed also. And who would you prefer to attack over Sun Fac or Boba Fett, for example? So we've gone over the bad, now let's have a look at the ugly. Let's talk synergy. Where is it between the Master and the Apprentice? There is none currently in the game. There is truly no benefit of running 4 Sith. None of them benefit each other. The only thing that they have in common is that they're going to get the ability from Maul's Zeta leadership. This game has a small collection of Sith that are canon. Obviously there is the rule of 2 that only allows so many Sith to exist at one point, but beyond that, there is no Sith. Who are you going to add? Are you going to have to then go back into old canon history, non-canon history, to grab some more Sith like Darth Bane, to then add them to the game? Can you see that happening in any time soon? We're in a Rebel meta at the moment with Empire, with the release of Rogue One. We may go on to Republic, Separatists, but there will still no other Sith characters unless we're going to be seeing more variations of the same character like Maul in Clone Wars. That brings me to my final verdict. With the lack of Sith in the game and the upcoming Sith that could be or could not be in the game, it is on my side a very big risk to put 20 Zetas into a Maul, because then I'm going to have to get Darth Sidious, because he is definitely the key versus Jedi. But how the arena is, there's not many Jedi or even a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta running around at the moment, and there is always going to be multi-squads that everybody's not going to be catching up with the same meta at once. Sith are anti-Jedi. The abilities that they have are definitely anti-Jedi, and if you're facing a team that isn't an anti-Jedi, like a Vader Zeta lead for example, this team will definitely struggle. All Zeta leaderships do have their pros and cons. Qui-Gon Jinn, you're going to need General Kenobi. Then you've also got Darth Vader, where it's ideal to have Boba Fett. With this squad, you are lacking that Sith, and that's where it comes the real underlying issue, is the synergy, the Sith, and that is the big problem, I'm afraid. If more synergy was added between the brothers or the master and apprentice, then without a doubt this has the potential to be one of the most powerful leaderships currently in game. But it does have its flaws, like it does lack cleansers and it does lack dispellers. I've got some great Zeta videos on other characters of Zeta, or not Zeta, Darth Vader. I also have one on Cody and Qui-Gon Jinn. Make sure that if you are liking these series that you are checking them out. So what is your thoughts on this Darth Maul Zeta? Is it a yay or is it a nay? Are you going to go for him? What order are you going to do your Zetas in? Are you going to go for Qui-Gon Jinn first? Are you going to go for Darth Vader first? Then maybe go for Maul a little bit later? Or are you going to go straight in for that challenge and go for that elite side and go for Darth Maul? A big massive thank you goes out to IndieFlip for providing this Maul footage today. If you have enjoyed this video, however, then please make sure that you are giving it the thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, then please do that right now. I'm the thesmithied. May the Force be with you always.